Good afternoon. I'm Reverend Zechariah1000, and I'm so happy to be here in Plainfield, New Jersey, with Councilwoman Gloria Taylor, 3rd Ward Councilwoman. Is that right?
That's correct.
And you are running again for office?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Actually, I was appointed in January of 2014 to finish the appointment, finish the seat, the 3rd Ward Council seat that was vacated by our now mayor. Mayor Matt.
Wow. Yes. So you were appointed actually.
I was appointed in January
Okay.
to finish his term. I will be there through November, but I'm also now running as a candidate for the 3rd Ward City Council on the regular Democratic team.
Sure.
Line A all the way with a number of wonderful people who are part of our team, and I hope people will go out and vote for us June the 3rd in the city of Plainfield. Vote Line A all the way. I will be on the as the candidate for the Democratic Party, the regular Democratic Party, as city councilwoman for the 3rd Ward.
You know, I'm getting so much energy as I go around town and talk about you running for office, and that they're so happy that you were appointed. And that they didn't say that, you know. They were happy because they feel that you have something to really give Plainfield.
Well, you know, I have been in Plainfield for over 40 years.
Okay.
I recently retired as an educator in New Jersey public schools for 35 years. I was a high school principal and retired in Patterson.
Oh, okay.
And but I worked in Plainfield for 16 years as a teacher, high school department head, and high school vice principal and district supervisor. But my husband, the late Rick Taylor, was my husband, and he and I worked together in the city of Plainfield for a number of years, and eventually he was the mayor of Plainfield in the late 80s. But we have a background, a history of doing public service, and so fortunately, I guess, coming back in at this late date was somewhat new. I thought I was finished, and then I was asked to come in and take this seat and see what you could do. But so when I got in, I got kind of disappointed in what I saw was happening. And so now I am in it because I believe that Plainfield needs to keep the success of the past and move forward in the new direction with people who really take public service as a priority, and not us and them. What I see now is us and them politics, and it's about individuals, and it's unfortunate because that's not the way it was in the past when we worked. I'm not naive to the political process, but I think your ultimate goal has to be to make a difference in the life and the quality of life in your community and the people. Now, we have some new people, new set of people, and we've got to get to know who they are. And doing things like this, we're not doing that. The way it is now, it's us and them. There are people who are running on power. That's what it is. It's about power.
Outright ego.
Yes, ego and power. And it disturbs me. And I want to, don't let me just start preaching, but I am a licensed Christian minister. And so this is ministry to me, to be out here in the public, in the marketplace. Much like you, Reverend Jackson, that we are here to represent God's people and to represent Him. And when you operate through your spirit, it's beyond race, it's beyond class, it's even beyond culture. And when you see that people have, I'm going to say that the enemy has, I believe there's a real stronghold in our city that needs to be corrected, and people who really want to serve need to be out here.
Well, and as I see this right here, let me interject this here, is your journey alone speaks of you have the quality, the ability to help. You've worked in urban areas. You've seen the development of the big city, if you will. Although Plainfield is a small city, it's a more of I call it a suburban city. But you've seen the development of things like that. So you can be of help, and that's what we need.
again, Plainfield is a suburban, urban city.
Sure.
And the thing that, I'm going to say, going way back now, when we had the riots and the rebellion in Newark and many of the cities, Plainfield was one of those cities. The
Sure.
late Imam Baraka, who was at that point a revolutionary, a black activist, and
Sure.
that spilled over into Plainfield.
Sure, sure.
And after that whole mess, the resurrection of this city came on the backs of actually well-meaning Caucasians, but African-American leaders, and they built it back up. But the model was not a model that was based on, what shall I say, class and race alone, but we had sense of excellence that these gentlemen had. And the first African-American was the late Reverend Lattimore, who actually was a preacher and ran the town as if it was ministry.
Sure, sure.
And one of his proteges was my husband,
Sure.
Rick Taylor. And so when he came, a little different than Reverend Lattimore, but still with the same sense of service to people. And that whole sense of being in a neighborhood as a part of being part of a community. Real quick, one of the things that they did, change. When you are about serving people, you tweak the system to meet the needs of people.
Sure.
When he became mayor, when Lattimore was the mayor, and you lived in our neighborhood or you lived in our community, you knew these people. So if, say, a senior citizen came before the mic at the city council meeting, do you know what they would do? They would tell the corporation council, suppose they didn't have a lawyer, they're losing their house, they don't know what to do, can't pay their taxes. Instead of telling them, you go get you a lawyer and you can address it, they would tell the city lawyer to meet with them.
Sure, sure.
And meet with them and help them problem solve and deal with what they need to do. There's a difference when you are connected to the people you're serving
Sure.
than when you have a superficial connection as a quote elected official.
Right.
And so when you are in Plainfield, this is a wonderful town,
Yes.
but what has happened is our image is a problem.
Sure.
We need, the taxes are high, we need more rateables, we need to do something with the downtown, with economic development.
Sure,
We
sure.
need to, but we also need to do that as a matter of where we are right now. And the schools need support, but we need to partner together. We need to do it as a community. So there's a difference now. It's not like it was, but what needs to happen is that we need to deal with the needs of people and have people come together. You know, I could talk about this for days, but it was rather disturbing to me as I got on the council to see that it's not about serving as it is about dealing politically with one side or the other.
Sure, sure,
You
sure,
know,
sure.
I'm not going to get off on this, but I'm a regular Democrat. I don't like everything the Democratic Party has done.
Sure.
I don't like everything America has done, but I'm
Sure.
still an American.
Yes, without a
And
doubt.
I do not, when you don't like something, you're going to jump ship
No.
and go and create your own.
Right.
And this is what is going on now in Plainfield. It's only one real Democratic
Democratic Party,
Party.
yes, yes.
But the other side has gone
Which
into
you know,
becoming something else.
let me say this right here, that it was very, for the work that I do, to have to interview two Democratic parties in Plainfield, you know, when I was raised only on one,
Yes.
you know,
And there really
Councilman,
is not
woman
two
tell me, you know,
Democratic parties.
it
It's
was
only
two, it was
one.
one over here, one over here,
Well,
and they
these
were
are-
battling each other, you
Yeah,
know.
well, you know
They
what
were quite
it is?
comical.
It's disaffecting
Sure.
folk who they came in and they got elected on the backs of being a Democrat.
Sure.
Once they got elected, I'm talking about our mayor.
Sure.
Once they got elected, then they switched and they became a quote new Democrat.
Right.
There's no such thing.
Right.
So that's selfishness as far as I'm concerned. Now, if there are problems within the party, you work it out and you
Sure.
stay loyal to do that.
Sure.
Now, this is confusing to the public. So the model becomes, even if we win or if we fight, then we win, we become one.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. And it's still,
And
it's
that
still us
hurts
and
the
them.
infrastructure
Yeah, it
of the
helps.
development of the city and the
Absolutely.
people that really
And the
need help.
people who are out here who don't care about what party you're in, they want to see what you're going to do to help them, they're kind of like, well, who do I join? I join this one, I join that one. And I say to you, Join people you can trust,
Sure.
who have a track record. Not folk who talk a good game and then they act differently when they get in office. Now, some of it you may not know. We follow the democratic process, but it does not mean that I'm so loyal to the party that I'm not any good to serving the people.
Sure, sure.
So, you know, I have a track record. I don't really want to do this at this stage in my life, but you know what? What motivates me is the fact that I see what is going on. It is not acceptable
Yes.
to have these two factions fighting each other on the backs of, most of the time, it's been the poor.
Sure,
It's
sure,
folk
all
who
the time,
don't
yes,
know.
right,
I mean,
right.
we've been fighting on stuff, on ridiculous stuff at the council.
And the people in Plainfield are suffering because
And
of it.
that's right. And so one side says, well, it's because you don't support the mayor, Reverend Taylor. No, it's not. It's because we're not working this out in the interest of our people.
Well, let me say this. You've been in office now 4 months, since January, 4 months. And of course, this winter here has been a rough winter, and things of that nature. What do you want the people to remember on June 3rd when they pull that ballot about you, that you can really be of help to this city?
Well, I think what I want them to remember is, one, I have a track record. I've been involved. My husband and I were both out here together.
Sure.
I have been in education for 35 years. I retired as a principal. Education is a priority.
Sure.
But community education is also a priority.
Yes.
We cannot, in Plainfield, all become only interested in the homeowners. We've got to be interested in everybody.
Sure.
And everybody includes people who don't have everything we have and who need to be further educated about what their rights really are. This is a new Plainfield. We
Sure.
never had this multicultural issue like we do now. We are not going to ignore the Latino community.
No,
We've
no,
got to
no.
get to know them.
We all
And we've
must
got
work
to
together
come
as
to the
one.
table
Yes,
together.
yes, yes.
And that's going to be a long journey. It is one that I have not been on. In the past, it was whites and blacks in this town.
Sure.
Mostly people who, either they're working class or middle class or upper class, but now we have people who we don't even know. We have got to include them in the process, and we have got to treat them with the same dignity that we want to be treated with. Now, that's only one approach. There is another approach. We cannot be class-oriented. Everybody in our town is not going to own a house. Some people are renters. Some people are seniors, like myself now, who have raised their children, sold their homes, and now they're living on fixed incomes.
Sure.
What about their rights?
Sure.
Also, I look at the veterans. My husband was very active with the veterans. He's a Vietnam vet. And look at the way we treat our veterans. We promise them a place, a house, a place where they can, and they have this place downtown, and it's inadequate.
Sure.
And so I believe that because of my husband's involvement, that we need to honor our
Let me say
veterans.
this right here, Councilwoman Taylor, that, and this is something that I've said, when I interview people, that I need to put this in, especially those that run for office, because a few years ago I interviewed someone that was running for the city council that actually got the seat, and only to find out 18 months later that they didn't even believe in saluting the American flag. Would you salute the American flag?
Absolutely. I'm going to tell you the story that was told to me when I was out in the community campaigning by a veteran who's head of the Black VFW. He said, you're coming in now, but I brought some veterans to a council meeting, he said. And he told me that when I was we were coming to make a presentation to the city council. And he said they were starting the meeting, and he said there was this council person who all of a sudden turned her back to the American flag.
Yes.
He said they were so upset that they left the meeting. He said, how dare this person who's supposed to be a leader do this? And so I said to him, you see, sir, you should have gone to the mic and told how you really felt and blasted that person for being a poor leader. How dare you do that?
18 months later, after the announcement came over about this council, and I tried my best to rally people to come in front of City Hall to give some kind of something
Yes.
about what did they think. And did you know only have one person that showed up, and I believe that was Reverend Branch that showed up, and things. So
Well, you know why? Because people are they're tired of seeing the us and them kind of politics, and they don't know who to trust.
Sure.
But you know what I said to this gentleman? I say it to people. I have been talking to seniors and others, and I say, you are the real citizens. You have paid your dues. You need to come out and just see what's going on. If you don't come out and see, you're not going to know how to make informed decisions about who is best. Don't listen to certain people who give you parties or give you little turkeys and little crickets and gifts. That's not the person. That you need to look at what they are doing. Watch what goes on the local TV to see how are they acting, and don't listen to the rhetoric about, well, you're not supporting the mayor. Well, the mayor has to. It goes both ways. The mayor has to support the council. My husband was an excellent mayor, I feel.
yes,
And
everyone loved him.
he
Everyone
knew-
loved him. Trust me.
Well, he knew how to count the votes. This is not a one autocratic party. This is the executive, which is the mayor's office, and then there's a legislative branch, which is the city council. They have to work together, but there is a system that works, that they work together, and you've got to give and take. If you're unwilling to do that, and you want to be autocratic, this is not the way democracy works. So I say to people, you've got to think about, you need to look at what we're doing and judge us on what we do, not on what somebody said in a blog, which was biased, or what someone is saying when they come to a city council meeting because they're there as a plant just to play the political game. We've got to see the real people, and the real people are out here, whether they're gay, whether they're straight, whether they're black, whether they're white or Latino. They want to be in a community where there is quality lifestyle, where we can feel and operate as a community, and they want leaders who are strong, who stand for some values, who are going to be inclusive, and who are going to work to make this a real community. One of the things that I'm pushing, and people are getting upset about this, on the books we have an ordinance that says you must reside in the city of Plainfield if you work here. We have a problem with image. How else are we going to change the image of what we know as the beloved Queen City of Plainfield if we don't have people move into town like the rest of us? Now, I am not saying if you already live out of town and you work here, well, you stay here. But from now on, we need to enforce the residency ordinances. And I'm not trying to be mean. I just think that's how you invest in your town. You're never going to change the image. The people of Plainfield will change the image. Second thing that's important to me is youth and education. In our town, some folk are afraid to come here because of the, quote, violence, etc., and the crime. Well, you know what? I don't feel that way about Plainfield. Now, we are not naive. I live in the West End in the historic district. But I am not naive that I have I do have a security system, etc. But I'm not afraid to walk out in town during the day or whenever appropriateness is for me to interact with people. So if you have a mindset that you're scared to come here, then you're never going to be the ones that build community. Now, the second thing is our young people have nothing to do. We have a recreation department, we have a school system, but what about the young people after they get 13 to 18 or 13 to 25? Those are the kids that we have just kind of abandoned. And now we have a pocket of violence with gangs. You know, they're still our young people. So we have to be concerned about them. A few years ago, there was a forum that was given by, I think, some of my former students about the violence. And I spoke and I said, look at these young people. They want to do something about meeting the needs of young people. One of the things I propose is partnering, agencies and institutions partnering on behalf of young people, and not just the whole gamut of young people. The street culture with the gangs, all the way up to the academic and overachievers that we have. And we need to begin to address their needs. I propose a youth commission, okay? A youth commission beyond beyond the recreation department, where we can, doesn't have to cost a lot of money, agencies and groups and the corporate arena that's working on are interested in young people, that we need to come together and have young people on this commission. We've got to interact with them as we look at letting them invest with us for what the future of Plainfield is going to be. The second thing, of course, is jobs and employment. And education goes along with that. And we've got to address that. And how do we do that? Well, you can put up some programs, and I believe our administration is doing that. So I give him kudos for that. But that's not enough. We've got to have the corporate sector as well as the public sector figure out how we can put our people back to work and connect with other governing agencies. Now, this is the last thing I want to say to you about how politics runs.
Okay.
We have, in our city, we have people who have positional authority beyond the mayor. Now, I hear all this talk about Assemblyman Jerry Green, the municipal chair, the county chair Jerry Green, and he's the problem. Jerry Green is not the problem, okay? But let me say this out of respect for his achievements. I am not saying whatever happened years ago, whatever happened with us years ago, people don't love you. But when you have reached the pinnacle, he is in a position as the municipal chair, as the county chair, to help Plainfield, as the deputy pro tem in the state, to help Plainfield. Not only him, there are other people there who are from Plainfield who can help us. We have to look at the big picture. If we're going to change the image of our town, give us the kinds of support, yes, we have to work with the mayor and the administration has to work with the council and other interested individuals in our town. But we are not going back where there's no minority, so-called minority involvement. Yes, not your political friends only who get to be the developers. We want to make sure that Black and Latino entrepreneurs are included. This is the history of our city. This is part of our foundation. We are not going back to no Black folks don't get nothing, Latinos don't get nothing, just certain people's friends. No. Now, I understand the process, but it cannot be. Plainfield is not for sale. And the people have to speak up, watch what's going on, evaluate us, make sure we have the credentials to be an elected officer or an elected official. Just because you're in so-and-so's back pocket, you don't know how to run a meeting, you don't know how to act, you don't know how to push for policies. Those are not the people we should be putting up here. And my God, if you are a poor example of an American, meaning you're someone who turns their back on the American flag and doesn't even show respect and has a poor appearance, then you're not the right person to represent.
Well, how do a person like that maintain their job?
Because they operate in the power politics arena. Us and them, the rights of this and that. You know, no matter who you are in this town, whether you're gay, whether you're straight, whether you're white, whether you're black, we want to live in community. I think we're at the stage now, because of the economy, when you come to Plainfield, the taxes are high, but you can get a good deal on a good house. Look at the beautiful homes. Well, we got problems with the school district, okay? Well, that's another issue where we need to come together.
Let's fix it.
Who can fix it except people who have a vested interest, who lives here, who has some skills and has a heart and a sense of commitment to bring this together. Now, watch what people do, not what they say. Even me. I have a track record. Yes, I do. And I stand out against my opponents or anybody else. But watch what I do. And if you don't understand, ask me. Okay? Don't listen to the blogs. We don't even have a journalistic interpretation of the news anymore. It's all these blogs, and they're political. One of the bloggers put something on me the other day on Facebook. And I said, what is he talking about? But you know what he said? Well, Gloria, I'm not. His name is Dan Damon. Let's be real. I said, Mr. Damon, what are you doing? He says, Gloria, I'm on the other side. I'm on their side. I'm not on your side. He told me that to my face. So do I want to read his propaganda? Absolutely not.
I guess it's kind of like when the city, when the banks was coming against Sharon Robinson.
Yes.
And I staged with POP, Stephen Hatcher, Chairman Hatcher, outside of City Hall that night. And we had a visual outside all for about 4 or 5 hours. And someone blogged that Reverend Zechariah1000 is an ambulance chaser. And I said, no, I am not an ambulance chaser. This mayor fought against the gangs and helped many people. There was gangs that came to her office and surrendered their
And
weapons.
don't want to give her any credit,
Right.
because they want to, first of all, they could care less about those people.
That's right.
And I'm going to tell you that you know who did this, and that person is now in office. But now that they're in the same seat, they want everybody to just bow down and do whatever that person wants to do. Guess what? It doesn't work like that. When you bring all these high-level officials, half of whom don't live in Plainfield,
That's right.
the taxes go up. And the people are, right now, we don't have economic development like we want to. So you cannot spend all of this money when you don't have it.
That's right.
Secondly, my husband was a qualified mayor. He had a master's degree in city and regional planning. He was a part-time mayor. He didn't have all these extra people. Yeah, things are a little different, but it's not that different. So if you want the job, you gotta work at the job. And if you want all these folk around, you need to go be the mayor in Newark or somewhere where they've got lots of money. We don't have all of that in place. And then when you twist the interpretation of what's going on as if to say, well, the council's not supporting us. That is not true. That is not true. I dare the people to come out and see what is going on. Ask questions. Investigate what we're doing and what we're saying. You make up your own mind. That is our problem in Plainfield. It is our fault that things are like they are, but it's not too late. We've got to do something about our young people. We've got to do something what the former mayor did. We are not going to negate her successes. We are building on them.
Yes.
Thank God she did what she did in terms of the youth and the gangs. But now we've got to put it into some sort of a program and continue the partnership.
If I can say anything about Mayor Robinson, I would say this right here, that she went to the bedrock of the problem and built.
Yes.
And so right now, you guys have to build on that.
Absolutely.
Because she definitely went deep into the river, right down to the bedrock, and built from there.
And I'm going to say that I want to, I didn't need to talk about the former mayor, but it's really comes down to what your spirit is.
Sure.
In the old days, when you didn't win, you had to let go. And then you had to join what was going on now. But it's very hard when people try to kill you, when they try to make your personality and make you nothing. This is the down and dirty part of politics that's going on. But to this woman's credit, I believe, because she's a God-fearing woman and she has a spirit of God in her, that she knows how to forgive and let go.
Yes.
For the big picture, she's working and she's helping to build Plainfield. But guess what? Once you've been in the seat, you know where the skeletons are, you know what has happened. So she has nothing to lose to come out and help us. Not just me personally, but help Plainfield in her different capacity now. You can't lie to somebody who sat in the seat. So they know what's going on. They know what's going on. So I salute her because she is a woman who has integrity and let go of the past and still out here trying to help. Now, I know that people will say all kinds of things, but I think that we need people. Plainfield's a wonderful place. I did not want to do this at first, but I'm in here, and guess what? You are not taking us back to prior to the riots. You are not going to come in, whatever your group is, and take over this town at the expense of all of us who are here and help to build it.
Yes.
The future.
Yeah.
My students, the young people in their 30s and 40s, it's their time to serve. But they don't want to serve in a community where you got this dirty, down low politics, and they can't use their skills. They can't use their gifts. That's what we're dealing with right now. And so I'm here because I want to make a difference. I know how to do it. I know that I'm good at what I can do. I'm willing to work with other people, including the administration, to get this done. So vote line A all the way.
June 3rd.
And give us an opportunity.
Is there a
to
number
make
that
it better.
anyone can reach you at?
Oh, yes, I mean, I take calls I'm on the, as a city councilman,
Sure.
they can do that. But, you can find on the website,
Sure.
Councilwoman Gloria Taylor, I have a phone number, a city number as well. Now, I don't wanna give up my personal cell.
Sure.
But,
Sure. What about your Facebook? Is that good?
My Facebook, yes, I have a Facebook account, it's Gloria McClendon Taylor, and, I'm on Facebook. We are, I don't have a blog as of yet, but we'll see about that.
Okay, so June 3rd, you've heard her, it's time to put this thing into action. We have the people to do the job. I believe the words of one of the great statesmen in England, Winston Spencer Churchill, he said, "Give us the tools and we will finish the job." Thank you. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Good night.